guess this is the part where I say hello and welcome to my vlog. This is the first, edition of what I think is going to be a new vlog that I'm going to try to do. My name is Jeannie. Hi. I am a first-time stay-at-home mom. Well, stay-at-home first-time mom. However, I stay at home with my baby and he's my first one. My little man is about 7 months old. He's sleeping right now. I've got him on the monitor over here somewhere. There he is. And I used to work in the healthcare field. I was a nurse for a while. Took a break from that to, take a break, I guess. And I ended up working in bakeries for a while, made wedding cakes from home for a bit. Went back to healthcare as a medical assistant. And now, since I'm at home with my little boy, I make pillows with my mom for her upholstery business. And I decided to continue my small Etsy shop. I started selling masks in the pandemic because I started sewing again. My mom taught me to sew because, again, she has an upholstery business. I sewed with her since I was a little girl. But I kind of didn't really have a passion for it. I lost interest. I didn't have space. I didn't have the money for the fabric and all the supplies. And then the pandemic hit and I was laid off from my job and I was getting unemployment, didn't know what to do with myself, couldn't go anywhere. So I started sewing masks to donate, initially for myself and my now husband, but also ended up donating a bunch. And it's turned into a real passion. I love sewing. I love the fabric. I love just creating things. And I decided to do a craft fair this weekend. It's my first one. Really nervous, totally bit off, I think, more than I can chew, but maybe not. I used to do booths with my parents. My dad had a t-shirt business where he had his own heat press, which I actually have down in the basement. And we would go to, he had a tourist shop near a ski area, and people could go in and they'd pick out their own print, pick out the shirt, the color, the size, whatever they wanted, and he would go ahead and print it real quick for them right in front of you while you wait. And it was just really fun. And my mom had her upholstery shop upstairs from the t-shirt shop. I'd go there after school and hang out under the counter, and it was fun. But we would go to this Scottish festival nearby, and we would sell their event t-shirts there. And my dad would bring the generator and the heat press, and we'd set up a table, and out of the back of the van, the Dodge Caravan with the wood sides, and we would just sell the shirts all day, and I would collect the money. And I thought I was so cool with my little metal money box, taking the money from the customers. And I just really want to have some sort of creative business like that for myself. So anyway, I'm doing a craft fair this weekend. And initially I've been selling key fob wristlets on my Etsy site. I have some print-on-demand t-shirts there. They don't do that great, but the wristlets do pretty well. So I decided to add lanyards as well because back to school season just kind of got me inspired to add those, because a lot of teachers are wearing them now for their school ID badges and their keys and all that kind of stuff. I'm out of bobbin thread. I'm gonna go ahead and rewind that or reload that. Okay, so bobbin's reloaded. Okay, so anyway, decided to do a craft fair. My sister does them with her Zentangle designs, which are awesome. I don't think they're in view right now, but I have a couple on the wall behind me. Speaking of, I don't have exactly a fancy sewing studio. I'm sewing at the dining table in my condo, our condo. We're looking for land right now. Really, really hoping to be able to go ahead and build our own house, or barn dominium has been thrown around. So maybe a barn, which would be awesome because those are beautiful. But I told my husband I'd like to call it a house because just I don't want to tell people I live in a barn. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just hadn't really envisioned that. So just to help me get used to the idea of this beautiful home that's technically a barn, we're gonna just call it a house. Anyway, so yeah, this is my sewing space with my pantry behind me and just everything piled up on the table. It's chaotic, it's stressful, but we're making it work. So I'm just sewing up the corners of this bag, and then I'm gonna get these bowl cozies that I made a whole bunch of these. I made them with all cotton materials so they can go in the microwave, which is the first time I've made them that way. Usually my husband and I don't put them in the microwave. We just sort of transfer the bowl to it straight from the microwave, but a lot of people, I guess, like to put it in there, so I used cotton thread, but I forgot to use the cotton when I started. So I did the X on every one of them with like polyester cotton blend thread, the usual all-purpose thread that I use, and realized it after the fact, so I had to go through and pick out all of the little X's. Let's see, oh, there we go. So I don't know if you can see the X's in the white thread there, but they all have an X across them in white, and I had to redo it all. So those are all done, yay. And then I have some more wristlets that I'm gonna try to finish up before we go to the show on Sunday, and some more lanyards that I wanna do because I got breakaway clasps. Apparently, apparently breakaway clasps are required in a lot of places by a lot of employers or a lot of schools, a lot of healthcare facilities, because of just safety reasons. If somebody, a patient, a student, a client, whatever, grabs your lanyard around your neck, you're going to want it to break away so that you can't get choked with it. So I have those clasps. I'm making a second one of each of the lanyard prints, at least a second one, might be a third for the ones that I think are going to be popular. And I'm going to add a breakaway clasp to those, so if somebody wants one, you know, they can choose either with or without. And then what else? Oh, coffee cup cozies. I'm going to try to make some more of these. I had my husband pick up like a cardboard one at the convenience store the other day when he was out for a drive, and I used that as a template. It's not perfect, but I think it's pretty darn close. And I'm gonna get a paper cup today when I go out and just make sure it fits before I make a bunch more. I made these a while ago. This one's pretty bad. The stitching on it is not great. I've come a long way since then, but I made these for a group that I was volunteering with. It was my sorority from college, and I embroidered the our state and chapter not ranking, but like our sorority does. So like the first one to form in each state is the state alpha chapter, then the second one is the state beta, and it just goes through the Greek alphabet, so we're the state beta. So I embroidered that on there and gave it to them as gifts when they all moved into the house, and everybody loved them, I think. I still use mine today. I keep one in my purse. I usually use a travel coffee mug, make coffee at home, but every now and then you get a coffee when you go out, or you get a hot cider or hot chocolate or whatever, and I just keep this in my purse. I have one in the car, and I just use those instead of the cardboard ones. And every time I use it, people love it. So ask me where I get it. Figured I'd make some of those. I think they'll sell pretty well. I think I can sell them for a pretty low price point because they are really quick to make once I kind of refigured out how to do it. You would think that you would just put the two layers together and sew the top, sew the bottom, leave an opening, turn it out, but no, it's a tube, so you can't. I figured it out last night though. So yeah, that's what I'm working on today. I'm hoping that the baby sleeps for another hour. He's been down for about an hour so far. A good nap is 2 hours. He's got his little Halloween jammies on today, so we got jack-o'-lanterns on him. But my husband is in the woods at the moment, so now is a great time for me to get a bunch of sewing done. So I'm just turning this bag inside out. There we go. I can't remember if I mentioned it yet, but this craft fair that I'm doing this weekend is a fundraiser for a local high school football team. So my vendor fee plus they asked for silent auction items, which, you know, was voluntary. It wasn't obligatory. It was an obligation. I didn't have to give something, but I wanted to contribute because it's a fundraiser. I was involved in sports in high school. I played field hockey, and I was the manager for the ice hockey team because practically my whole family was involved. My brother-in-law was the coach. My dad was the mascot. My mom sang the anthem every now and then. So yeah, this is actually, I think I'm gonna do white thread. I want to help out with this fundraiser because I think that's really important. I hope my son, my kids, whatever other children I have, want to participate in sports. It's not just good for your body, but it's good for building friendships and feeling like a part of the community. But they don't have to do it if they don't want to. It's their choice. But I'd love to be a sports mom. Probably be the one bringing orange slices for before the game and cupcakes for after. Just like my mom did. All right, so I'm just stitching up the side here. I was gonna change the thread out to be something that matched. I'm so conflicted. So I did the top stitching for the zipper with white. So do I just do white or do I do, no, I'm gonna do a color that almost matches this so that it blends in a little bit because you don't really want to see the stitch that closes it up. So we have, this is pantry, this is sewing supplies. Welcome to living in a small space, and my chair just broke. This is my life. Okay. Got a couple thread, oh yeah, that's perfect, okay. So change out the bobbin real quick. I've had this machine since, I think I got this for Black Friday, on the Black Friday sale. It was kind of like a Christmas present. It's a pretty good machine. I like it. It's certainly not top of the line. I can't wait to get one of those bigger industrial machines that's built into the table. Because this is just making it work. We make it work. Do what we can. I have more than a lot of other people do, so I'm grateful for what I have. But I am also very envious of all those beautiful, like, she shed sewing studios. Or even just an extra spare bedroom in your home, or finished basement space, or whatever. But yeah, we make this work. I do have some problems with this machine, but I don't know what I was gonna say about that. So I love this bobbin. I don't need much, so I'm just gonna do enough to break the tail, because I'm literally just sewing up about a 3-inch opening. And then that will be done. So then I just have to do the scrunchie and the wristlet to go with it. I have the wristlet right here, matches the outer fabric on the bag. And then I did the scrunchie, I'm gonna do it to match the lining fabric. So we have like a nice little matching set. Scrunchies, right? I forgot about the scrunchies. I also made over 80 scrunchies. All during nap times, all over the course of the last about 2.5 weeks. It's been busy, I'm stressed, I'm not getting a whole lot done otherwise, but that's okay. My husband is being super supportive. He has gotten me, you know, a canopy tent, all the supplies I need. He's like, just get what you need. We're gonna make, you know, so much more than that. We're gonna make it back times 10. He has so much confidence in me, which is great because I don't have very much at all. So, well, that's not a pity party, it's just reality. So I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to let anybody down, really. I don't want to let my son down. I just think this would be really awesome if I could really make it into something a little bit bigger, something that generates, you know, just enough extra income for us to go on a nice vacation every once in a while and not have to stress about trying to find a cheap hotel that's cheap but not cheap. You know, and my husband gets so stressed out about providing a nice life for our family, and he wants us to have everything we want, and I just want to be able to help with that. Ooh, that was rough, because I appreciate it so much. Okay, so that is done. Oops, I really need to get a new pair of scissors. These are getting really dull. Okay. Alright, so just gonna open the zipper up. Let's see how she came out. I'm gonna take this over to the ironing board and press it. I've got to set up over by the TV in my fancy sewing space. Alright, pop her corners out. I think that looks pretty darn cute. Little lightly padded makeup accessory bag, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you'd want to use it for. A little thread stuck in the zipper there. And I'm just going to push the corners out a little bit better here. Okay, hopefully someone will bid on this for silent auction. I think they will. I would. Got this fabric at, what's it called? Fabric Outlet in Massachusetts when we went to visit family. I think they must get like closeouts from quilt shops and stuff like that, but they had all this Tula Pink fabric, and I'm a little bit cheap, so thrifty, we'll say thrifty. I'm thrifty, so I don't really splurge on, you know, $16 a yard fabric, as beautiful as it is. But I saw at this outlet that they had gotten a bunch of Tula Pink fabric in, and I got really excited. So when we went to visit, we had to drive the extra 45 minutes out of the way to go to the store. And again, my amazing husband was like, it's your, you know, it was like a week before my birthday. He's like, buy whatever you want, happy birthday. So I went to town and I got all this beautiful fabric. This is also Tula Pink, not affiliated with her at all, with them. I just really like it. So I've been using that a lot. I love the color combinations. It has a little deer on it, which, like, my husband's a hunter, so he likes that aspect of it. It's more feminine than camo. Nothing wrong with camo, but it's not really my thing. Or plaid. I love flannel. We live in New England. It's a necessity, but sometimes I like to feel girly. Sometimes I want pink and purple and flowers. Especially having a little boy. I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of pink and flowers in my life, and that's okay. But that's kind of why I like fabric, because I can get all these beautiful fabrics and make fun, useful things out of them. I'm just stitching the scrunchies. I use the tube method. I made one extra long one, and then I got 2 regulars. I'm gonna put the regular ones out for sale. I bought pegboards for this craft show. I have 2 of them coming, but I got them from Temu. I want to say Temu, but we all learned, I think it was during the Super Bowl, that it's actually pronounced Temu, and we were all saying it wrong. But I ordered some pegboards. I ordered tablecloths. I ordered like the hooks for the pegboards. I ordered from local warehouses, but it says that they're on the way and that they had to go through customs. So I don't really, not really sure about what happened there, but I was hoping they'd get here before. I'm still hoping they get here in time. If they don't, we're gonna figure something out. I have some trays that we were gonna use for like s'mores trays for my wedding. They're like circular, they have a little metal rim around them. So I think I might put those on the tables as well to like throw extra scrunchies in for people to kind of dig through a little bit. Especially if the pegboards don't come, but the idea with the pegboards is to hang scrunchies on one of them and then keychains on the other one. I think the lanyards, I'll probably lay them out on the table. I don't know, we really wanted to put the tent up this weekend to kind of practice and see what it was all gonna look like, how the tent would go up, how we wanted to place the tables, but like nothing's come in time. We do have the tent, we have 1 table, but we have to go get the other table from my mom's house. And she hasn't been feeling so great, so she kind of called the other day and said, you know, don't come down today, come another day, which is fine. We have time. She lives close. And her feeling better is more important. But anyway, we haven't really had time to like lay everything out and figure out exactly what this display is going to look like. Just checking the baby monitor. He's out still, knock on wood. We don't say the Q word. Anyone that's worked in healthcare or the food industry, don't say the Q word. Q-U-I-E-T. Just don't. It invites chaos. I still have to make price signs. I still have to set up my Square account. My hubby got me a card reader and like the adapter, so I have that. I just have to set up the Square account. I used to sell LuLaRoe. Don't judge me. Not that it's a bad thing. I just didn't have a great experience with it. But I used to sell LuLaRoe, so I had a Square account at that time. I don't know if I still do. I probably do, but it's probably like under that email. I don't know what bank account's tied to it. Like I should know. So I have to go through and figure all that stuff out. And have the little chalkboard sign like easel signs downstairs from when I did LuLaRoe, and I'm going to use some of those. I'm not sure how many I have. I also got some picture frames, just like plain white picture frames. I think they're 10 by 12 maybe at a, it wasn't a yard sale. It was like after a yard sale and they put everything out for free on the corner. So I grabbed a couple of picture frames that I was going to put like a price list in one and like an about me in the other. I haven't had time to come up with the about me or the price list. So we'll see what happens there. But all in all, I think it's going to be fun. Hubby's going to come with me. We're going to bring the baby because I don't really have anybody to watch him. And I think it's just going to be a really fun time. We'll take separate cars so he can leave with the little guy if need be. Go take him for a drive so he'll fall asleep or whatever. Take him home for a little while. It's a 4-hour event. Outside, I'm really hoping that the weather holds out. I did look at the forecast a week ago and it said that it was like 30% chance of rain, but it's New England, so the weather changes every couple minutes. So we're not really going to know what this weekend's going to look like until like probably tomorrow. I'm kind of afraid to look at it today, but we did get a tent that's supposed to be waterproof. It's got sides that zip onto it, so hopefully we'll be good. I'm going to try to bring stuff, see if I can come up with an empty plastic tote or two to bring things in, so if it does start to rain really heavily, we can throw stuff into the plastic totes and at least it won't get wet. And I can leave, my sister gave me a really good tip to have at least one plastic tote with you so that for an outdoor event, so that your stuff is not sitting on the wet ground underneath the table, like all your paper bags for, stuff, all your bags to put all your stuff in for people to take with them when people buy an item. Your extra inventory. She sells cards and paper goods, so she has to keep her stuff dry. So I thought that was a really good tip. I've been watching videos for, weeks now. I have them on in the background, like tips for setup and things that you should make sure that you have with you and how much product to bring based on how much you want to sell. And it's a lot. So I'm kind of glad that I took on a smaller event. This isn't like a huge holiday event at the expo center or anything like that. It's a small fundraiser, I think. And I think it's going to be a really good way to dip my toes in and see how this all works and get the experience of like what works for the display, what doesn't, what sells, what doesn't, what people are looking for. I'm really, really curious to see, even if people don't buy things, like what they pick up, what gets looked at the most. I'm planning to bring a notebook. I want to try to find the time. I mean, I do need to sleep at some point, but I want to try to find the time to like type up a spreadsheet of all of my inventory and like pattern by pattern and print that out and bring it with me so I can mark off what people are interested, what they're buying, what seems to sell well, pattern-wise, item-wise. I've heard a tip a couple times that there's like 3 qualities that you're supposed to aim for with a product. It should be, something people can use, something that betters their life, or something they can give as a gift. So something you can use, like a bowl cozy, it's practical, you can use it for your ice cream at night or your hot soup or whatever. something that makes their life better. That one I'm stumped on right now. So my brain's fried, but I guess, you know, a wristlet to hold your keys so you can hang them on your wrists and you're not, you know, juggling your stuff around. And then something you can gift. I think all these items can be gifted. The, you know, the zipper pouches are good for organizing, and you can put little like gift sets in them, and the scrunchies are a good gift because it's small. You can throw it into like a gift basket. Same thing with the wristlets and the lanyards. Pretty much all of it. And another good tip was to have like low price points or lower, and or at least to offer items that have lower price points. I think a lot of it does have a lower point. Eventually I want to do have a couple of like jelly roll rugs, maybe a couple baby quilts, and have those at a higher price point. So hopefully if someone wants to buy one, I can sell those items as well, make a little bit more money. And ultimately it is about profit, but I just really enjoy this. I like sewing. I like making things for people. I like making beautiful things. I made a puff quilt for my son. I made him a hat, like a couple little flappy hats, because he is fair skinned like his mama. So we have to keep him protected from the sun. So I think I'm going to be making him those little flappy hats with like the neck flap on the back of it for a long time. Those I would also like to eventually make for craft fairs. I would love to build this business up. I'd love to have a website someday. Etsy is okay. It works for me for right now, but I would just love to have my own landing site where, you know, my own home that's mine. I can do whatever I want with it. There's no fees, no rules, and just sell my stuff. So I'm just working on the extra long scrunchie right now. I got doing the burrito tube method because that's just what seems to have worked best. I like the look of it at the end. I tried to make some little tags to put on them, but they didn't work out, and I wasn't going to get any in time if I ordered, so I just had to kind of scrap that idea. Had to be pretty flexible for this. I'm kind of a perfectionist, but I haven't been able to be. I mean, I'm obviously making the product look nice, but like for example, I found a wooden doll bed at Goodwill for $5, and it looks like shelves. White shelves with like a little lip on the front and the back, and the ends, you know, have a nice end to them. So I bought that, and it had like a wooden heart glued to one side of it. And my plan was to take that off, sand the spot down, paint it over real nice, but my husband wanted to help, and he did it for me. And it doesn't look as nice as I wanted it to. He didn't do it the way I wanted it done, which is fine. So I've just had to kind of let go of the reins a little bit, and that's okay. I just had to tell myself it's done. It's out of the way. It's off my checklist. No customer is going to notice, you know, the little mark that I see or whatever. And eventually, I'm just going to spray paint the whole thing, probably a different color, I think. I don't know yet. My logo's green, so I kind of want to make it green, or like a background on my logo, but I don't know yet. We're gonna see how it goes. And hopefully my stuff gets here in time from Temu. But I can at least cross off the silent auction gift from my list today. Get those other lanyards done with the breakaway clasp, and those will be all set. Got the scrunchies done. I've got some wristlets that I made years ago that have a lobster clasp and like a swivel clasp instead of the like heavy duty one I've been using now. It kind of like crimps on there instead of being sewn on. So I finished those. Some of them just needed top stitching and some finishing touches. So I did that last night. Just one more thing I can put out on the table. I've heard that the more product you bring, the more you sell. So you sell 10% of what you bring. So say you want to sell 10 items, you got to bring 100. If you want to sell 100 items, you bring 1,000. Not bringing 1,000, but I'm just trying to fill up my display. Really, I don't want it to look like this is my first rodeo and I wasn't ready, because you know that's what's true. Must hide truth. And then if this one goes well and we enjoy it, we're gonna sign up for some more because there's a ton of them coming up in our area with the holidays and fall, and fall is a big deal in New England. There's a lot of foliage events. There's a lot of like autumn harvest type events. I did just see that local Oktoberfest has been canceled though because there's Eastern equine encephalitis going around the area. This is like a mosquito-borne illness. They want people to stay inside from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Luckily, the event this weekend's gonna be over before 6, so that's good. But they don't want people getting bit by mosquitoes because they're detecting this virus in the area. So we'll see what happens with that, but I think there's gonna be a lot of indoor events this year, and I would definitely like to sign up for a bunch of those. I do make ornaments as well, like quilted ornaments, but they take forever and they take a lot of fabric and a lot of pins, so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to end up making any of those for like Christmas holiday craft shows or anything. I also see a lot of those at other shows, but I was kind of thinking of, you know, trying to envision like coming up with my own unique design for something similar, something that stands out so people see mine and they go, oh, okay, that's different than all the other ones. But I have a bunch that a patient's wife made for us. It was probably had to be 20 years ago. And I put them up on my tree every year. And I've made a couple. Made a camo one for my husband, camo and orange, like Blaze, you know, Hunter Orange. He loved it. And I think I put some plaid on it too, because we have this tradition where we gift each other an ornament every year. So every year since we got together, we've given each other a Christmas ornament to kind of build our own ornament collection together. Now that my son is here, we're gonna give him his own ornament this Christmas and bring him in on the tradition. Last year's ornament that my husband gave me was like a custom ornament of drawing of a fireplace with the stockings, and it had mommy, daddy, and our son's name in the middle because he was born in January, so he was almost here and we already knew his name. And the ornament that I gave my husband was a picture of the ultrasound where we could like see his face. So he was definitely a big part of our Christmas, even though he wasn't here yet. I'm just gonna put a little bit more thread on here. And this year for Christmas, he'll be about 11 months, so he's gonna be super fun. I mean, he's fun anyway, but it's gonna be awesome to see him like get to see the Christmas trees with all the lights for the first time and everything. We were at Costco yesterday, a couple days ago, and they have Christmas stuff out already. That's not cool. That's too early. But I like avoided the aisle with the pre-lit Christmas tree because I didn't want him to see it yet. I wanted to wait until, you know, it's actually Christmas time and we can take him somewhere where there's like a whole bunch of them out, or you know, have him see our tree maybe for the first time. I don't know. Or at least have my husband be there as well when he sees his first Christmas tree, because I think he's just gonna love it. He's a studier. I think he's just gonna just sit there staring at the lights, just taking it all in. He's been babbling mama for months now, but last night he looked right at me, thought about it for a second, and went, mama, and I just, what a moment that was. And then he said it again a minute later, so I think he might have said his first word intentionally. I don't know. We'll see. Just making sure he's still out. He is. I think Dad got a little jealous, but I'm just thrilled that he's talking. Not that we had any doubt, but every milestone he hits, it's a relief to know that he's, you know, he's healthy and he's doing well. Knock on wood. So I don't really care what his first word is as long as he's talking. think he was imitating the train the other day. We could hear it out the window. He was kind of just making noises, like after the train would blow its horn. So I think he, oh my God, I just stitched that clothes with no elastic in it. Yeah, I think he imitated the train. I don't know. We'll see if he does it again next time. Because we live a couple blocks from a train station, so we can hear it a couple times a day. If you listen for it, you can hear it. I just stitched this clothes with no elastic in it because I'm busy running my mouth. So I'm just gonna pick that out and do it again. Okay. Refocus on what I'm doing here. Oh boy. Definitely hoping to kind of make this whole vlog thing a thing. Never thought I would ever even say the word vlog, but I feel like such a millennial. But I just would really like to somehow find a way to keep this going. It's gonna be hard to do with nap times and everything. My husband also works from home, so there's a lot of throat clearing and chair shifting and a lot of noise going on sometimes. Lost a pin. So it could be kind of hard to do, but I enjoy it so far. Oh my God, that pin just disappeared into oblivion. I didn't even hear it bounce. Okay, well, moving on. But yeah, if you like my my rambling chaos, I guess it is. Relaxed chaos, I don't know. Go ahead and subscribe. Throw me a like. See if I see how much I keep this up. How much I can keep it up. I ideally I'm gonna do like a video from the craft fair on Sunday, or the craft show, showing like my setup and everything. Let you guys see what I ended up with there. And I don't know, I want to keep this going. I enjoy it. It's sad as it sounds, it's kind of somebody to talk to in a way. Being a stay-at-home mom is really lonely. It can be kind of isolating, even though my husband's here. We are trying to save money for land and a house and everything, so it's not what you see on social media, it's not going to Target and Starbucks every day and taking, your children out for lunch. We're here a lot. It's usually just myself, my husband working upstairs, and then our baby. I do a whole lot, so I think this is going to be a nice way to connect with other people with similar interests. And yeah, I can't wait to kind of form a community and get not a group going, but I don't know. Yeah, community. We'll see if it turns into support. Awesome. Other stay-at-home moms trying to make a go at also having a business, hit me up. I'm probably going to, I don't know, once I find the time, maybe next week, I don't know. Probably just gonna create the YouTube page and put this video up with minimal editing. I'm a little bit shy, a little bit nervous about it, so I kind of just wanted to get it filmed and get it out there and just shake off the first time jitters. So don't judge me too harshly. I know I don't have the perfect equipment, I don't have the perfect, little soundstage, studio, anything like that, but I have what I need. Oh God, made that hole too small. Okay. And where's the extra long? In my lap? It's on my lap. Okay, so let's put some elastic in these before we close them, because that's key. Really, little man's been down for about an hour and a half, so I think he's gonna start waking up pretty soon. But I'm really glad that I've been able to get that bag finished. I'm gonna just press it real quick, and I'll get these scrunchies done, and then hopefully I can get that wristlet done too and be completely finished with this gift set to give. I really wish I could have put like some Brookside Threads labels on it, but the labels I tried to make, again, just did not work out. They looked horrible, and I wouldn't have time to order any and get them in. So for now, they're gonna be without labels, but that's okay. Eventually, as my brand grows and hopefully thrives, I will start doing those things. I'm just looking for my bodkin. Oh no. Yeah, a little bit overwhelmed by the space around here lately. Oh, I think it's in the scrunchie bag. BRB. I'm not seeing it where I thought it was gonna be. Of course I have two, but I can only find one. My card reader I gotta set up. Yeah, no, I kind of went overboard with scrunchies. So many. I made some of the silky ones. I made like extra long, kind of like this other one, and it's super plush, super fluffy. I love it. And then I made some regular ones, some Halloween, just like regular size. And then I have minis. Let's see. Oh, there's a mini. So like thinner ones. The elastic's the same size in all of them, but this is just the actual like fabric part. Kind of like the minis, it's nice. This one has little ghosts on it with little pumpkins and like lattes. But no bodkin. Let's see. Might be in my little tool bag here. Ah, got it. Oh no. Thought I was grabbing a loose thread, but it wasn't loose, and I was just unraveling it, making more of a mess. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna put the elastic in these, and then we can close them up. This is a bodkin. I don't know. I guess I can show what that is. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just like a little tweezer type tool, and it has a ring that slides down on it to hold it pinched shut. So you put it on the end of your elastic and slide the ring down to pinch it, and then you can use this end to feed it through whatever tube you might need to put elastic or ribbon or lace or whatever you're doing your trim with, put that through. I want a longer one. This one works. It definitely does the trick, but with these extra long, extra large scrunchies, it's a little bit harder with the shorter tool. But I've done so many now, I'm getting pretty good at it. I brought it in the car with us the other day, and we thought what was gonna be like a 15-20 minute drive with our son to get him to take his last afternoon nap because he was way overtired and would not go to sleep. Turned into a 2-hour drive, and he was awake the entire time. About, I don't know, 5-10 minutes before we got back to the driveway, he fell asleep just in time for us to wake him up for dinner. So that was a fail, but at least he had quiet time in the car seat, riding around in the car, looking out the window. We'll take it. Okay, so there's that one. I like this one because it's like ombre. I don't know That's fun. Okay, that one. We'll do the 2 regular size ones to put out for sale on the table. I like the bigger one, the XL one with this fabric, because it's like continuous. Like it's smooth transition into each color, whereas this one just abruptly stops at the middle at the pink, at the light color, and goes into the purple. So I might make a couple more extra large to put out for sale, but we'll see. See what I have time for. I have to like prioritize. Like today is gift set, lanyards, key fobs. After that, we'll see. And I really gotta get price signs done. I don't know what that noise was, but there we go. Okay, and we have to get the other table from my mom's. She's got about 15 pillows for me to do, which is awesome because we've been waiting for those orders to come in, been waiting for like the fabric to arrive and the clients to okay the designs and everything. We work with a couple of interior design companies, and so that's kind of cool. They design, the space, the room. Apparently a couple of the clients are designing the house from the ground up as well as everything inside. So they do all that with the client, and then they send us the orders for the pillows, like toss pillows for all the furniture, and sometimes curtains. I did a couple of like oval shaped sheer, I guess I gathered curtain, tufted. It's not really tufted. It was like one of those big oval windows in an old school farmhouse, and we redid a curtain where it was like stapled all around the edges, and then the middle of it was gathered into like a big bunch with a bow, not a bow, a button tied in the middle of it. That was kind of cool. It was different. And sometimes it's just hemming curtains because they're too long. Had some recently where they had purchased curtains for the client, but they were like 3 inches too long, so we just hemmed those, took them up a little. So it's nice. It keeps us pretty busy, but like I said, we've been waiting a little while for these orders to come in for all the fabric and trim and everything to, be ready to start actually cutting stuff out and sewing. And that's finally in, of course, right as I'm, about to do this craft fair that I've already kind of bitten off more than I can chew for. So we're gonna get this craft show out of the way, and then I'm gonna be in full-blown pillow mode for at least a week doing those 15 pillows. I guess they have trim, like fringe, but they don't have zippers, so that'll be faster for me, which is nice. Sometimes the zipper takes forever. So once the baby goes to bed at night, I'll probably just sit on the couch while we watch whatever show we're on. And I'll just get those hand sewn shut. There we go. Although now that I think about it, I'll have to bring the pillow inserts home with me to do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna have like rolls and rolls of fabric plus probably 18 to 24 inch down pillow inserts, 15 of those. I need a bigger sewing space. I need a bitch barn. There's my pedal. There it is. Anybody else have to sew barefoot? Or is that just me? I think that's the thing. I always have my left shoe on, but the right one I take off so that I can use the sewing pedal. I don't know why. I don't drive barefoot. I'm just gonna move this over here. There we go. Now I can see him. Okay. So this one's getting stitch closed on the purple, so that pink thread's gonna stand out, but I don't have any purple thread this color. It's not the right shade at all, so I'm just gonna go for it. It still matches. Oops. Back stitch. Wonky on me, I'll fix that. One of the problems with this machine is the back stitch is a little aggressive and kind of takes off on me sometimes. So my other main machine, it has a little back stitch button, and you just push the button. It does one little neat back stitch, nice and slow. This one just has a lever, so you gotta hold the lever down while you do the presser foot, and I just don't have the best control of it sometimes, to be honest. Okay, so there is our Silent Auction scrunchie. Going with our Silent Auction bag, matches the lining. Put that in there and keep those together for now. These two, I'll just trim the threads and throw them in the scrunchie bag ready for sale. Trying to figure out what prices to do for everything. I'm really not great at figuring out like cost of goods for each item in terms of fabric, because it's like how do you even figure out what to price it based on? I mean, I could say, well, it takes me like a lanyard's easy to price because it's the width of the fabric, so it's 3 inches wide, and if I've got a yard, that's 36 inches wide, so I can theoretically get 12 out of that. So I would take the price of a yard divided by 12, and that would be my cost of fabric for one lanyard. But say a scrunchie is half of that, so I would divide that by 24. But then say you've got like a bowl cozy, which is, you know, a 12 inch by 12 inch, 10 inch by 10 inch square. So then do you figure it out by square inch? Do you figure it out? Like, I'm not sure how to do that. So I've just kind of been looking at how other folks price their items and trying to find a nice average in the middle there. I have been pretty conservative with my fabric. I'm getting, you know, nice quality fabric, but like I said, I went to like a fabric outlet store where they have like closeouts that they bought from quilt shops that were going out of business. So it's designer fabric, but it was a much lower price point. Because just starting out, like I'm not gonna break the bank on gorgeous designer fabric. I've seen plenty of others, lost my scissors, there. Plenty of others selling plenty of products, especially on TikTok Shop, with fabric that I know came from Walmart because I've seen it there, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly good fabric. So I decided not to break the bank either. I've got some really nice stuff on clearance. Ordered some stuff on sale online, you know, for like big 50% off, end of summer sale type things. So I think I've been doing pretty well. Unfortunately haven't kept a running tally of what I spent. I should. I gotta get into that business mindset. I'm not there yet. My husband really encouraged me to do this craft show, and I jumped in headfirst because I got so excited about it. And now backtracking, I'm like, I should have written that down. I should have kept that receipt. I should have, you know, made the spreadsheet as I was going, kept a notebook of each different fabric pattern and combination. But we're here now, and we're learning. We're gonna keep learning. So I think I'm going to, I gotta do the wristlet for the gift set because that'll match the outside. And then I'll try to get the rest of these stitched up. So what I have to do is I have to iron these. I take these over to the ironing board and fold them in half, sort of. And then that gets folded in quarters. I can do this one without the wristlets without pressing. I could, but I really prefer to press it because it just makes it so nice and crisp, and I just think it looks nicer, makes for a nicer final product. Plus it just makes sure, the extra pressing makes sure that the interfacing is really, the glue has adhered everywhere to the fabric and you're not going to have any like little bubbles or anything. So I'll get this all pressed out like that, and then I'll stitch it up, top stitch it, and then fold it in half like that, and I'll add a clasp to it. I might fold it this way. This pattern does have a deer on it. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a really pretty polka dot deer with the turquoise antlers, because Tula Pink is just so colorful that way and I love it. But with the placement, you can't really see it on the wristlet. You do get some of like the snout or the nose, but when you fold it down to, come on, see, this is why I like to press it so it stays nice and crisp. But if I were to fold it down that way, the way that it holds, the deer's face would be upside down right there. So I'm just gonna play around with it and just flip it this way. And I think, I don't know. I think I like this side better because you get like all the floral pattern, but then you can still have the deer snouts inside if you really want to see it, but you can't really see more of the deer than just that. So we'll turn it this way. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and press those, and I don't know, maybe I'll add the craft fair update to the end of this video. I'm not sure yet, because again, this is my very first and I'm just playing around with it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Like and subscribe. I think I'm supposed to say that.